This is everything that I have learned in my first year of being a stay-at-home mom. So make sure you grab your cup of coffee and let's dive right in. If you're new here, hello, my name is Abigail May, and I have been a stay-at-home mom for 1 whole year now. I want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory of how I became a stay-at-home mom, what that's been like, and just kind of my situation. Buckle in, let me just tell you, if you don't want to listen to my story or you've already heard it before, you can fast forward to the 7 things. So I've been a stay-at-home mom for a little over a year now, and I started my SAHM journey when my son was 6 months old. I was not expecting to be a stay-at-home mom as early as I did. We knew we wanted to homeschool, but I did not think that I would stay at home until homeschooling started. In fact, I remember in those 6 weeks before I went back to work, I told all of my friends, I was like, yes, I'm excited to go back to work. I want to go back to work. I need a little bit of normalcy. I need a time out of the house, all that stuff. Those are all things that I had said prior to going back to work. And I also want to preface this too and say that my job at the time was unlike any other job that I had ever had. First of all, most jobs you have to put your child in daycare starting at 6 weeks. I did not have to do that. I worked in a church, and the church that I worked at was just filled with young families. So there was a daycare in the church. However, I was allowed to keep my baby with me for as long as I needed. So for the first, from 6 weeks to about 3 months, 3.5 months is when I kept my baby with me. I baby wear all the time. I held him all of the time. I pumped and nursed at the church, all of those things. And so my job experience was very different than a lot of working moms where they have to drop their baby off at a daycare at 6 weeks or something like that. Working and having my baby with me was a lot, but at the same time, I did not feel comfortable enough to put my baby in a daycare. We couldn't afford to do full-time daycare. We could only do part-time. So when I did part-time daycare, he would be in the daycare from 8 or 9 a.m. until about 12 or 1. And then the rest of the day, I would go home and I would try and work from home as much as I could. Honestly, those first few months, I would say was it 5.5 months being back at work was so hard. Sometimes I look at moms who are working moms and they go back to work. I'm like, how are you doing that? Because I was struggling mentally, emotionally. Even though I was getting all the help that I could and all the support that I could, I still felt like I was drowning as a mom. And I felt like God was telling me, hey, you need to step away from working in the church and you need to focus on being at home with your kids and focus on raising your babies and also taking care of your home and your family. Because when you're a working mom, at least for me, I was overwhelmed. I was trying to take care of my baby, trying to take care of myself, trying to cultivate a healthy relationship with my husband, trying to take care of I think I already said this, the house, cleaning the house, making sure there's dinner on the table, managing different schedules. It was just very, very difficult. And I just felt like the Lord was leading our family away from me working to me staying at home. And I'm so, so grateful for that. But it has been a hard journey because my husband and I were not making a lot. We were making just enough to survive. And so the thought of me becoming a stay-at-home mom was scary financially, but we knew that we just had to bite the bullet and do whatever we had to be able to afford it. So all that to say, I am not a mom whose husband makes $100,000 a year, and that's hard. It's not easy. But at the same time, I wouldn't trade this life for anything in the world. We don't live the most glamorous life. We're still in an apartment. We're about to have our second kid, so we're going to be a family of 4 in a 2-bedroom apartment. As that does not sound ideal, you know, a lot of people around the world, that's how they live, and that's just life, and that is okay. So this leads me into number 1, which is trusting in the Lord's provision and faithfulness. Y'all, when you are so broke that you are constantly taking money out of your savings and having to use credit cards, and you're on SNAP and you're on government health care. I did not know anything really about government health care or SNAP. Thankfully, we're not on it any longer. It's a temporary thing. It's not something that you should stay on. But those are ways that the Lord has provided for us through, thankfully, the government. But there have been so many other ways that the Lord has provided for us. We've had friends who have been just so generous and so kind to us, family members who literally will pay for our meal if we go out to dinner, all of these different things, because it's just the Lord. It's how the Lord provides. And so time and time again, the Lord has shown us that He is faithful, He will provide, and He has perfect timing in everything. The second thing that I have learned since becoming a stay-at-home mom is not everyone will understand. There will be questions of, why are you becoming a stay-at-home mom if you're so poor? Like, shouldn't you be like working a crap ton, you know, instead of being a stay-at-home mom? There are going to be people who judge you for being a stay-at-home mom, or assume that you believe certain ideas or certain ways of living because you chose to be a stay-at-home mom. That's just how it is, and that's just what I've learned. All right, number 3 is, just because you're a stay-at-home mom doesn't mean you won't get bored. You will. You will get bored of being a stay-at-home mom. You'll get bored of doing the same tasks over and over again, cleaning up the same messes, saying the same words, no, don't touch that, yikes, all those things. You will get tired of those things, and that's normal. At any job, you will get tired of the certain mundane things. Even people who are not stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home parents still have to say no to their toddler multiple times a day, still have to say the same words, clean up the same messes, all of those things. It's just one mom is going to work and coming home and taking care of that stuff, and another mom is taking care of that stuff all day, every day. The cool thing, though, about being a stay-at-home mom is you do get to make up your own schedule. You are not confined to a boss's schedule or someone else's tasks and to-do list. You get to create that yourself, which I think is amazing as a stay-at-home mom. So, you know, if you can't afford it, then there may be days where you can be like, yeah, today we're going to go to the trampoline park, or today we are going to the park, or we are going to go play laser tag or something like that. Like, as a stay-at-home mom, you get to decide that. But that doesn't mean you're not going to get bored of being a stay-at-home mom. The 4th thing that I have learned in my first year of being a stay-at-home mom is to buy in bulk as much as you can. Y'all, Costco. Love Costco. I love Sam's Club. Any chance I can and afford to buy in bulk, I will, because, I mean, it's amazing. I bought a 50-pound bag of flour for $50, and it lasted us months, y'all. So I think that's the biggest thing, especially with being a low-income stay-at-home mom. When I can buy in bulk, I will, because it just helps us save money in the long term and all of that. The next one is learn what you can make at home. I've said this in like so many videos, but there's so many things you can make at home. I don't buy tortillas anymore. I make them. I don't buy bagels. I make them. I don't buy bread. I make it. I don't buy chocolate syrup because I can make chocolate syrup. There's so many things that you can learn to make at home that'll not only save you money, but also like have better ingredients and stuff. Especially a stay-at-home mom and a low income, I have learned to make plenty at home, or make things last I think one of the biggest things when it comes to being a stay-at-home mom, living on a low income or low budget or whatever it is to steward your home well. When you steward your home, when you take care of the things that you already have, you're not having to buy a bunch of different things all the time. You're not having to replace certain things constantly because you're taking care of it. Now, granted, I do have a toddler who does have a strong will and is so boyish, it's amazing, but it does mean that things often break and I do have to replace them. But as much as I can, I try to steward the things that I have and take care of them well. All right, number 6 is hard, but knowing that it's okay to do free things. I don't know where it got in my head that, you know, if you do free things like going to the park, or going to the library, or joining a mom's group, or I don't know, things like that, that you are any less than another mom or another person. I just kind of avoided that for a while. Like, I don't know, I guess I wanted to seem that I had it all together in the sense of my finances, when that's not really the case. I really don't. We're trying to figure that out. We are a young family, and you know, with being a young family, you just figure things out along the way. And one of those things is it is okay to do the free things in life, to go to the park, to go to the library, to have a library book instead of buying a new book, or whatever those things are. But it is okay to do free things for entertainment. And the very last one is one that I am currently learning in this season right now, which I'm like, whoa, is structure is important as a stay-at-home mom. I think for this first entire year, I haven't had any structure. I just kind of like feel out the day, and however I feel, like that's what I do. And I'm learning that structure is important. Number one, it keeps you on task. It helps you keep the important things important, and the not so important things not on the front end. I guess what I've learned mostly is that with all my time, and this is like a confession, I guess, is that I'll spend so much time like cooking and cleaning all those things, but if I do not structure my days where I'm like, okay, this next 20-30 minutes I'm gonna spend intentional playtime with my son, then that won't happen. Just because you are a stay-at-home mom does not mean you automatically are spending quality time with your kids. Does not mean you are automatically cooking and cleaning and doing all those things. And so having structure is really important. That's something I'm trying to do right now. And I'm like, why am I trying to do this when I'm literally about to have a newborn and a toddler? But trying to have some sort of structure in my day-to-day life is so important. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope these things helped you. I hope they, I don't know, gave you some insight into my life and who I am and what being a stay-at-home mom for me has been like. And if you are considering being a stay-at-home mom, or you just have questions about it, I'm just really grateful that you sat down and watched this video. So give this video a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you want to see more videos like this. I love you guys. Bye.